again, it's teacher Jocelyn. I have two fables for you today. This one is Why the Sun and the Moon Live in the Sky, and this version of it is by Elphinstone Dayrell and illustrations by Blair Lent. And the other one is The Empty Pot, and the author is listed as Demi. And the thing about fables is they're old stories that get told over and over and over again in different cultures. All cultures have them. And this particular one is a story from Africa, but I don't know where in Africa, because I don't have enough information about this old story. But this version of it is told in English. Many years ago, the sun and the water were great friends, and both lived on the earth together. And the sun very often used to visit the water, but the water never returned his visits. At last, the sun asked the water why it was that he never came to see him in his house, and the water replied that the sun's house was not big enough, and that if he came with his people, he would drive the sun out. The water then said, "If you wish me to visit you, you must build a very large house. But I warn you that it will have to be a very large place, as my people are very numerous and take up a lot of room." Well, there's a lot of water on the earth, right? So here's the sun guy and the water guy. The sun promised to build a very large house, and soon afterward he returned to his wife, the moon, who greeted him with a broad smile. Well, this is not a very big house he lives in so far, huh? The sun told the moon what he promised the water, and the next day began building a large house in which to entertain his friend. When it was completed, he asked the water to come and visit him. Here's the water's house. When the water arrived, one of his people called out to the sun and asked him whether it would be safe for the water to enter, and the sun answered, "Yes, tell my friend to come in." And the water then began to flow in, accompanied by the fish and all the water animals. Oh boy. Very soon the water was knee deep, so he asked the sun if it was still safe, and the sun said again, yes. So more of them came in. When the water was level with the top of a man's head, the water said to the sun, "Do you want any more of my people to come?" And the sun and the moon both answered yes, not knowing any better. So the water's people flowed on until the sun and the moon had to perch themselves on top of the roof. Look at all those wonderful water animals. Crocodiles and rhinoceros and fish and birds and even an ox. Again, the water addressed the sun. He received the same answer. So more of his people rushed in. Here comes some boats and fish, maybe a turtle. The water very soon overflowed the top of the roof, and the sun and the moon were forced to go up into the sky, where they have remained ever since. The end. So that's why the sun and the moon live in the sky, because there's so much water on the earth. That's kind of a neat story. So this one's not quite so old as that one, probably. The Empty Pot. Well, actually, it could be. I don't know how old this story is. It's also an old story. A long time ago in China, so it's still a long time ago, but maybe not when the sun and the moon were living on the earth. A long time ago in China, there was a boy named Ping who loved flowers. Anything he planted burst into bloom. Up came flowers and bushes and even big fruit trees, as if by magic. Everyone in the kingdom loved flowers too. They planted them everywhere, and the air smelled like perfume. Did you ever walk by some flowers that smell like that? Whoa, it's so wonderful. The emperor loved birds and animals, but flowers most of all, and he tended his own garden every day. But the emperor, which is like a king kind of, the emperor was very old. He needed to choose a successor to the throne. Who would his successor be, and how would the emperor choose? Because the emperor loved flowers so much, he decided to let the flowers choose. The next day, a proclamation was issued. All the children in the land were to come to the palace. They would be given special flower seeds by the emperor. Whoever can show me their best in a year's time, he said, will succeed me to the throne. The news created great excitement through the land. Children from all over the country swarmed to the palace to get their flower seeds. All the parents wanted their children to be chosen as emperor, and all the children hoped they would be chosen too. When Ping received his seed from the emperor, he was the happiest child of all. He was sure he could grow the most beautiful flower. Ping filled the flower pot with rich soil. He planted the seed in it very carefully. He watered it every day. He couldn't wait to see it sprout and grow and blossom into a beautiful flower. Day after day passed, but nothing grew in his pot. Ping was very worried. He put new soil in a bigger pot, and then he transferred the seed into the rich black soil. Another 2 months he waited. Still nothing happened. You can see all the leaves fell off the trees now, and now there's snow in this picture. By and by, the whole year passed. Spring came, and all the children put on their best clothes to greet the emperor. They rushed to the palace with their beautiful flowers, eagerly hoping to be chosen. Ooh, what a lot of beautiful flowers. Ping was ashamed of his empty pot. He thought the other children would laugh at him because for once he couldn't get a flower to grow. His clever friend ran by holding a great big plant. Ping, he said, you're not really going to the emperor with an empty pot, are you? Couldn't you grow a great big flower like mine? I've grown lots of flowers better than yours, Ping said. It's just the seed that won't grow. Ping's father overheard this and said, you did your best, and your best is good enough to present to the emperor. Holding the empty pot in his hands, Ping went straight away to the palace. The emperor was looking at the flowers slowly, one by one. How beautiful all the flowers were, but the emperor was frowning and didn't say a word. Finally, he came to Ping. Ping hung his head in shame, expecting to be punished. The emperor asked him, why did you bring an empty pot? Ping started to cry and replied, I planted the seed you gave me and watered it every day, but it didn't sprout. I put it in a better pot with better soil, but still it didn't sprout. I tended it all year long, but nothing grew. So today I had to bring an empty pot without a flower. It was the best that I could do. When the emperor heard these words, a smile slowly spread across his face, and he put his arm around Ping, and he exclaimed to one and all, I have found him! I have found the one person worthy of being emperor. Where you got your seeds from, I don't know, for the seeds I gave you had all been cooked, so it was impossible for any of them to grow. I admire Ping's great courage to appear before me with the empty truth, and now I reward him with my entire kingdom and make him emperor of all the land. And there goes Ping on this beautiful carriage. There we go. Lots of good folktales from cultures all around the world. Okay, that's it for this time. See you next time for more stories.